Hi everyone, I am Shweta, Assistant Professor from Artificial Intelligence and Data Science Department at Kalanya Karunanidhi Institute of Technology, Coimbatore. Now we are going to learn about file handling in C. This is an important topic because almost every real world program needs to store the data permanently. Up until now, most of our program worked with input and output only through the console. You typed something through the keyboard and then the result was displayed on a screen. But the problem is that the data exists only while the program is running. Once we close the program, everything is lost, right? One now think about the real world applications like bank system, student record system, or even your mobile apps. Can they afford to lose the data every time the program ends? Of course not. This is where file handling comes in. File handling allows us to store the data permanently on your computer storage so we can access it again later. It is the bridge that make our program useful in the real world scenarios. Okay. And the next slide is what is file handling in C? Already we know that in C it is the process of creating, opening, reading, writing, and closing the files using in built-in C functions. Unlike console IO operation which deals only with the screen and keyboard, but file handling works with files stored on the disk. These files can be only in different ways depending on whether we want to read data or write a new data or append data like that. And the next slide is what are all the types of files in C? There are mainly two types. First one is text file and another one is binary file. The text file is store the data in human readable characters. If you open a text file in Notepad, you can understand the content easily. They are ideal for storing the things like student names, marks, logs, or configuration settings. For example, extensions like .txt files, .csv files, like that. Binary files is store the data in machine readable formations like zeros and ones. The data is stored exactly as in memory, making it faster and more compact. But if you open a binary file in Notepad, it will look like a random symbols. They are useful for storing images, audios, or even structured data like employee records. And the next thing is file pointer and fopen functions. To work with the files in C, we need a special pointer called as a file pointer. It is declared as file pointer fp. This file pointer connects our program with the files on a disk. We open a file using the function fopen. It's the general syntax like fp equal to fopen filename dot txt comma mode. And the first thing is the file name, and the second argument is the mode, which tells the program what action we want to perform in a file. Next slide is file modes in C. Let's look at the file modes available in C. First one is R. It helps to open an existing file for reading. If the file doesn't exist, fopen return null. And the next one is W. W means writing. It helps to open a file for writing. If the file exists, all data will be erased. If not, a new data will be created. And the third one is A means appending. It helps to open a file for appending. In this case, a new data will be added at the end, and the existing content is safe. And the fourth one is R plus. It helps to open a file for both reading and writing, and the file must be exist. And the W plus, it helps to open a file for reading and writing, and the old data will be erased in this case. And the next thing is A plus. It helps to open a file for both reading and writing, but the writing always happens at the end. These are all the six modes, or we have to used in the file handling operations. And the next slide is how data are writing into a file. In this case, we using the functions like fprintf or fputs functions. This program shows how to write a data into a file in C. First, we declare a file pointer, file store fp, to connect with the file. Then we open a files using fopen of student.txt, comma w, and the student.txt means it represents the file name, comma w means write mode. It will create a new file or erasing the old content. Next, we using the fprintf function like fprintf of fp comma hello students. In this case, which we writes the text into a files. Just like printf prints to the screen, fprintf writes to the file. After writing, we must close the files using the fclose fp. Because closing ensures the data is safely stored on a disk. Now, if you open a file name like student.txt, you will see the message like hello students written permanently. And the next slide is reading from a file. We can using the functions like fscanf function or fkits. This program shows how to read a data from a file in C. First, we declare a file pointer, file store fp, which connects our program to the file. We also create a character array like a char data of 50. It will storing what we read. Then we opening a file using the fopen of student.txt comma r. In this case, student.txt is a file name, or means read mode, so we can only read the file, not write. Okay, next fkits of data comma 50 comma fp. It will read up to the 49 characters only from the file and stores them into the data. Then the next line is printf function. Prints the content of the data on the screen. So the finally we using the fclose functions to close the file. So if the file student.txt contains hello students, the program will output will shows the hello students. And the next thing is binary file operations. When working with a binary file, we use fread function and fwrite functions. These functions can read or write a blocks of memory at once. For example, this is very efficient for handling arrays or structures in programs like employee management system or image processing. Here, and symbol of variable gives the address of the data. Size of the variable tells how many bytes to write or read, and one means we are dealing with one block of data in file pointer. This method is very fast and efficient because it transfers entire blocks of memory at once instead of character by character. That's why the binary files are commonly used in real applications like employee management system, where you store the record of many employees, or in image processing where large amount of pixels data needs to be handled quickly. And the next thing is closing files. Whenever we are done with a file, it must be closed using fclose of fp function. Closing is important because it ensures all data is saved properly and the memory is freed. A good practice is for every fopen function there should be always be a matching fclose functions. Let me discuss about this program line by line. It includes the standard library because functions like printf, scanf, fopen, fprintf and fclose are defined inside this header. Without it, compiler won't recognize them, right? And the next file store fp is it declares the file pointer of fp. In C, you cannot directly access the files, like operating system gives the connection to the file, and then the connection is represented by the file pointer. And the next thing is character name, char name of 50. The range is 50 and the integer age. This variable to hold the user input like name of 50 size, it is a string for the student name, and the age is a integer for student age. We need these because we will take the values from the users and store them in the file. And the next thing is fp equal to f open of student.txt comma w. Already we know it helps to open a file name like a student.txt in write mode. So w is a mode tells the compiler we create a new file for writing. If it is already exists, erased it old content. So the result of fopen is stored in fp in our file pointer. And the next thing is the if condition we declared. This the if condition checks the file if opening or failed. If the file cannot be created or accessed, fopen returns null. This is the safety check so that our program doesn't crash when we try to using the bad pointer. After that, we using the print and scanf statement for taking the input from user for a name and age factor. Next, we write the format string into a file like fprintf of fp name and age factor. So the fprintf it writes the file and printf is writes to the console. Here we mention the fprintf functions because it writes to the file. And the next we declared fclose functions. It ensures all the data is saved from the buffer to the disk because it frees the file resources for other programs. If we forget to close, sometimes data won't be saved properly, so we need to close the file. Next, return 0. The return is ends the program successfully. After that, this output will displayed in the output screen like enter name xxx and enter age is 2030 something. And this is the console output, and the final output is shows like name and xxx and the age is 20 or 30 something. This is the file opening, reading, writing example. And the next one is real world applications in file handling. Now that we know how file handling works, let's connect into the real world examples like in banking systems, like customer balances and transactions are stored in files. In student management systems or marks and records are written into file. And gaming sectors like progress are saved in files so you can continue later. In logging systems also using like errors and events or appending into the log files. So without file handling, all this application would lose every time they close, right? So that shows how essential this concept is.